YouTube, man. How you guys doing today? It is me again, your favorite Texas trucker, and I am cruising along on 199 in Texas, headed up towards Amarillo. Just left home. Man, I've been trying to do a video, man, for several days now, and it's like every time I, get set down to do a video, something comes up, or I get sidetracked on something that I'm doing and then forget to come back to it. I was just home on home time, and I went home, and I was only going to be there for a couple of days, and and I was going to leave back out again. And then I had two appointments I had to do. One of them was a medical appointment in a lab, and we switched insurances. So in order for me to switch on the insurance, I had to get a full lab test done, and so I had to get a physical and all that good shit, and they took about 4 or 5 vials of blood out of me, and did the typical physical, and I had this thing growing on my back. I don't know what the hell it was, but it's kind of scaly and about the size of a nickel or so. I had the doctor look at it, and she didn't like how it looked, so she cut it off and sent it into a lab to get checked. I should hear something by Monday or Tuesday. It's Saturday right now, so I should hear something by Monday or Tuesday. Well, anyway, we had to switch one of my appointments around to a later day because scheduling issues, and that kind of I was going to leave right back out again Tuesday evening, Wednesday morning. It didn't quite work out that way, and I got this load right here. It picked up in Garland, and it delivers up there to Utah. And so I had to take the trailer down, and it pays pretty good, but I had to take the trailer down and drop it off and come back the next day and pick it up. First drop and hook I've done with Triple C, and anyway, I picked it up, and then it doesn't deliver till Tuesday morning, so I had time to sit on it before I left, so I stayed home for another night. Anyway, I'm leaving out now. Anyway, I'm sorry I'm doing a video like this. It's just, and there's so many things going on, so many things I'm trying to get done, and so many things I'm trying to do that I just haven't really had time. When I have had time, I honestly really haven't felt like it. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of give y'all a heads up, and if the video's not as good a quality as what I normally put out, man, I apologize for that. I'm on the run right now, or on the move right now, so we're doing this one while I'm driving. I'll try to get it uploaded today. That way at least we got something out there, and then I'm going to try to do more updates and keep y'all up to date a little bit more often. I say that, but you know how it goes out here. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Anyway, I'm headed up to West Bountiful, Utah, which is just north of Salt Lake City. So I'll be headed up to Amarillo. From Amarillo, I'll cut up into Colorado, go up through Denver, and catch I-80 in Wyoming over to Salt Lake City. And then from there, I'll find some place to park. I ain't going to get all there today, obviously. But from there, I'll find some place to park and deliver Monday morning. There's a pilot I like to stay at up there north of Salt Lake City, or Pilot Flying J, something like that. Anyway, it's pretty good, pretty nice place. That's where I was at last time, so that's probably where I'll stay this time. My goal is to get to Amarillo today, which shouldn't be too hard. I mean, I got plenty of drive time to get there. I just want to get there before it gets too late, so I can get me a parking spot in one of these old truck stops up there. So anyway, that's the goal for today. So anyway, again, I apologize for the video being done like this. I don't really personally like how they come out when I do them like this, but it's something at least I can get a video of. It seems like that's the only way that I can do it. So I got home, and for those of y'all that have been following me, I don't know, you may or may not know, my son just turned 17, or he's turning 17 anyway. Yeah, he turned 17. Good Lord have mercy. Well, he got his driver's license, and he's a cadet for the fire department, and he's got a job, and he's in school, and it's too difficult for my wife to get him everywhere that he needs to be at. She's a full-time home health care nurse, and it's just too difficult with her schedule to work with his schedule. So I gave him my car, so I don't have a car anymore, but I gave it to him. And he comes in the house when I get home. He comes in the house after he gets off at the fire academy, and he comes in and he says, man, I've had to put coolant in the car 3 times today. And so I was thinking maybe there was a crack in the reservoir. That Mazda, you can't access the radiator directly. You put it all into the reservoir and it feeds into the radiator. So anyway, I told him that we needed to check to see if there was a hole in it. I used the car to go to one of my appointments, and it was empty when I got in it. So we've got a place we go to for all of our automotive repairs. It's called Walker Automotive in Weatherford, Texas. Really, really great people. Paul Walker's a great dude, and he works with us and helps us out quite a bit. He's fair. He doesn't overcharge. If the vehicle doesn't need work done to it, he won't do it. So I took it up there to get an oil change, and while I was getting the oil change, I told him to check that radiator issue to find out where the leak is in it and see what it would take to fix it. So anyway, he wouldn't do the oil change because he said we still had 2,000 miles on the oil, and the oil was clean. He said there's a waste of money to do the oil change. He doesn't need it right now. Give it 2,000 more miles and then bring it in for an oil change. But he said the radiator, the water pump's leaking, so that's a $200-something repair on $100 for parts and $160, $170, some shit like that for labor. So, labor tax and all that. So anyway, it comes out to $265, $270. Which the money I'm putting in the truck and all that, I don't have it to make the repairs. So he told me to, just bring up enough money to cover the cost of the parts, and he'd take care of the repairs. We could get the car back, and then we could just pay it back. That's the way the guy is, great dude. So that's what we did. We took it up there today. I put $150 on it to get it repaired, and then the wife's going to go pick it back up on Monday, so that at least the kids got the car to drive around, and then I'll just pay it off, in my next paycheck. This paycheck is actually going to be a zero paycheck. I did one load going home, but I spent 3 or 4 days at the house, and then with my deductions at CCC, it's going to eat up whatever I made off that load, so it's going to zero out, and so I won't be making any money this week. But this next week, the week I'm on right now, this load delivers on Tuesday, and it's $2,000. So I'll drop $2,000 on Tuesday, and that'll start my week out pretty nice. I wish it could drop on Monday, and it may be able to drop on Monday. I'm going to try to call the store on Monday and see if there's any way that I can get it off Monday. That way, bright and early Tuesday morning, I can go ahead and pick up my next load and be out of here, or out of Utah. Hopefully, it works that way. Things never really work according to schedule, but according to plan. But we're hoping it'll work that way, and maybe I can get rolling again. Now, as for the truck, everything has been going really decent on the truck. No major issues. I did have a breakdown. I've been noticing, and I think I mentioned this on my last video, or maybe I mentioned it the last time I tried to make a video. It was screwed up, and I did a video a couple weeks ago, but I don't know, something happened to it, and it wouldn't. It said the format was all messed up on it, and it wouldn't. I don't know what was wrong with it, but anyway, I've been noticing that my fuel mileage is dropping fairly considerably, and I really honestly couldn't figure out what the problem was with it. Some of this, is just guesswork, But I know that part of the problem was the fact that we're using winter fuel. All right, and so with winter fuel, you have all that anti-gel additives, and that really hurts your fuel mileage. So you always notice a good amount of difference in fuel mileage during the winter time. And but I really felt like the drop in fuel mileage that I was getting was really drastic. I was getting about 6.2 to 6.7 miles per gallon, depending on how light the load was and what type of terrain I was driving it in. That's what I was getting. And occasionally my fuel mileage dropped down to about 5.7, but that's really about as low as it ever went. Usually it was about 6.2 to about 6.7, and I figure my business at 6 miles per gallon. So at 6.2 to 6.7 miles per gallon, I'm making a little bit of money, a little bit extra money over what I'm figuring. At anything under 6 miles per gallon, I'm actually losing money. And so anyway, what I've noticed is that as the winter hit, and it all started with about that first winter chill, and man, I don't even know if I'll update y'all about all my airlines breaking. But anyway, I went up north into this winter snap. It was 23 degrees outside, and I get up north, and all of my airlines just started breaking. And I had to switch all my airlines from the pigtails to rubber airlines. I switched out my electrical iron from the pigtail to a straight line, to match the rubber lines that I put on. I had some plastic quarter-inch lines that were coming from my air tank to different components on the truck, and they were snapping in half. So I mean, I had a nightmare a couple of days dealing with airlines. I hit that cold, and I don't know what happened. They just started breaking, and that really, that was, a bit of an issue. But I got it fixed pretty quick. Anyway, it was about that time that my fuel mileage really took a drastic hit, and it's like it happened almost overnight. One day I'm making 6.2, 6.5 miles per gallon. The next day I'm sitting at 4.8. I even had one at 4.3 miles per gallon. Most of them were running about right at 5.1, 5.2 miles per gallon now. And I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. I can't see any oil leaks. Not oil leaks, but I can't see any fuel leaks. I have no clue. And now I'm looking back on it, and I think that the truck may have been giving me signs before. I just thought they were oil leaks. I've been having some oil leaks for a while, and I got a lot of seepage on the outside of my block. So there's a good amount of oil, on the side of my block. Well, let me kind of say it as it happened, and then I'll go back and say kind of what I think I might have been seeing before. So I'm driving down the road, and everything's going good. I pick up the load, and while I'm sitting in the dock getting loaded, I get out and I do a once over on my truck. I walk around, I look at everything. I bend over, I look, with flashlight and shine up underneath the truck. I'm not seeing any leaks. I'm shining on the side of the engine block and filters like I always do to try to just kind of get a look at it, and everything is looking good. I get my paperwork, or I get told that I'm loaded. I get my paperwork and I head on out. And I've been jacking with this load and unload all day long. So it's getting towards the end of my time, and I'm ready to go ahead and park it. So I just go ahead. This is up in hell, I don't even remember where I was at. Anyway, wherever it was at, it doesn't really matter. I go and I park the truck at a rest area, and so I park the truck and I get out of it, and while I park the truck and I'm sitting there with the engine idle, and I'm just kind of sitting there, filling out logbooks and all that, and I keep thinking, man, I smell fuel, but it smells like lighter fluid. It didn't really smell like diesel. It smelled kind of like lighter fluid. And I was coming through my air vents, and I was like, man, what the hell is that? I couldn't figure it out. I get out of the truck, and as I'm getting out, I look down, and the hole underneath my truck is just a puddle. So I jump out real fast. I pop the hood, I open it up, and I got fucking Niagara Falls coming out of my my airline, I mean my fuel lines. I got a steel fuel line that busted, one that comes from the back of the block. It goes around to the fuel pump and then continues on to the front of the block. And it's got a hole in it where the clamp, it's got a clamp that connects to the engine block that's holding it in place, and it's just pouring fuel out. So I hurry up, shut the engine off, and I'm looking around the truck, and I've been spraying fuel all over the underside of my truck, and everywhere that you know it's dripping down at, it's picking up oil residue from you know what, like the drive line, you know, and all that shit where I've had, because I blew the differential a while back and it sprayed oil all over the underside of my stuff, on the underside of my truck, and I haven't repaired that. I haven't washed all that stuff off yet, so the residue's still there. Apparently the fuel picked up all that residue, so it looked like I had oil leaks coming from all over the truck, you know. I mean, it's like underneath my fairings, where it was dripping off my fairings, where I blew all that oil up underneath there. You know, it was just dripping, and it looked like oil leaks, you know, but there was nowhere where there was oil for it to leak. So I talked to a few people that I know, and they suggested that I use some JB weld to weld all that stuff together, and they said it'll seal and it'll take care of it. So the next morning, I crunk it back up, and I decided I was going to get to the nearest Love's, which wasn't, you know, too terribly far away. So I drove it there, and I pulled in, I got parked, and I shut it off. And again, I got oil coming, I mean water coming from everywhere. But again, I noticed that everywhere that it's leaking at, when it's coming down off the engine, or when it's coming down from the inside of the fairings, you know, where I threw all that oil a while back, and when it comes off the drive line and all that, it's looking like oil drips. And so I went in and I got some JB weld. To make a long story short, you know, I cleaned everything up. I guess I didn't do a good enough job of it, and the JB weld didn't hold. So I had to call roadside service out to fix it. The guys that came out to fix it, they did a good job. They brazed the line together, and they got the fuel leak stopped. I'm going to trade those lines out. I'm going to take both them lines off. There's two fuel lines that come back there. I'm going to take both those lines off, and I'm going to switch them to braided steel line. But I'm not going to do it right now. I just can't afford to do it right now. But that's the plan. That's what I'm going to do. All right. So anyway, now back to what I'm thinking. Now where all that fuel was dripping off, where I had all that oil residue, it looked like oil leaks. All right. Now since that's happened, and we got the fuel leak fixed, I haven't seen hardly any oil leaking at all. It's just been a little bit here and there, little bitty drops, you know, no real big deal. What I'm thinking is that this fuel line may have been leaking for a week or so, but it just wasn't leaking very bad. It was leaking maybe a little drip where it'd get down on the side of the engine, and it'd fall down the engine, pick up that oil, drop on the ground. And so when I'm looking underneath, I'm seeing spots of oil instead of fuel. But in reality, I think that it was a fuel leak. I don't know yet. If that's a guess, it may or may not be accurate. I don't know yet. I'm still watching it. I'm still trying to find out. I was going to take the truck in while I was home, and I was going to run it through and get the engine washed and get all that oil off the engine. That way I could watch it a little bit better and try to find out whether or not I'm right or wrong, and to see, you know, if there's something else that I need to pay attention to. But this was a really busy home time, and the downtime that I had, I didn't really want to spend messing with it. So I just wanted to relax with family. It seems like every time I go home, it's nothing but work. You know, I mean, I take home time so I can go home and work on my truck. And you know, this time I just wanted to relax. You know, I mean, I've been wound up pretty good, non-stop working on the truck or running loads. And honestly, I was just tired of it. I needed some downtime. I needed some me time. And so this time at home, when I wasn't running around doing errands or going to the store to restock the truck or wasn't, you know, taking the trailer down, dropping it off, bringing it back. By the way, when I took the trailer down, Ford here is about to aggravate the crap out of me. Anyway, when I took the trailer down to drop it off, the kid, Scooter, my youngest, the little truck, your favorite little Texas trucker, yeah, him and my wife went with me, so they got to go with me while I dropped the trailer off, and then we drove the truck back to Chili's, and we ate at Chili's, parked in the back, and came home. So when I wasn't doing all that, honestly, all I was doing was playing video games. I spent the whole weekend playing video games, and yeah, I was gonna make a video, but you know, in the time that I was gonna make it, I was more worried about getting my car fixed and dealing with my car, or my son's car. I've been calling it my car for 4 or 5 years now. But anyway, my son's car, I was worried about getting it fixed and taking it down to Paul Walker and all that, you know, and so I got sidetracked and forgot about it, you know, and then when I got home, I was spending time with the kid and the wife, or me and the wife were playing Borderlands 2, or I was playing Fallout 4. We've got an Xbox 360 and an Xbox One, so I play Fallout 3 and Borderlands almost exclusively. Me and the wife play Borderlands together. We've been playing that game since Borderlands 1 first came out, and so you know, when I'm on home time, we're on a playthrough. We started with Borderlands 1, and we ran all the way through Borderlands 1, and then you know, we did everything you can do in that, and then we went to the Borderlands pre-sequel and played the whole pre-sequel and did everything you can do in that, and now we're on Borderlands 2. We're doing a playthrough on that. We've almost beat the game the first time. We'll turn to all the DLC here pretty soon. So I'm kind of a gamer nerd, you know. On my spare time, I like to play video games, you know, and Borderlands 2, Fallout 4, games like that. Those are my games. Those are the games that I like to play, and you know, and so that's what I spend all my time doing. So that's what I did all weekend long. It's not a real big excuse for, you know, not spending time giving y'all an update, checking in with you. You know, that's important. It's just as important to me. But honestly, I just needed a little downtime. You know, I needed a little bit of me time. You know, time to just kind of relax, unwind, not worry about everything that was going on. Kind of get it out of my head for a little bit, you know, and you know, just kind of let loose and have some good time. I got a friend of mine, Clyde Jackson. He owns a truck, and he came over to Triple C with me, and he was in town, so we went out last night to Catfish Village, David Beard's Catfish here in Hazel, and we had dinner with them and spent some time catching up with them, and that was a good time. So anyway, I don't really have any major complaints. No, the engine on this thing is strong, and she's running like a dream, but you know, pretty much everything on the truck is going to have to be replaced. All the fuel lines are going to have to be replaced, and I'm assuming that I'm going to have more problems with these steel lines. So as quick as I can, I'm going to get rid of these steel lines and get steel braided lines for the truck. And anyway, that's where I'm at. That's what's going on. So that's the update for now. Things are really going pretty decent. Like I said, this week, this next paycheck I get is going to be a zero paycheck because I spent the whole time at home. But the paycheck before that was damn near $3,000. This paycheck right here will probably be right around, you know, paycheck on this week that I'm delivering right now will probably be right around the same size, same time. So my expenses, my requirements are only about $1,200 a week. So you know, I make you know, almost $2,800 last paycheck, and you know, if I can make the same thing on this paycheck right here, that's $5,600. You know, I only need $3,000, you know, $3,300 for these 3 weeks. So I'm still way ahead of the game, even having a zero paycheck on last week. I'm doing pretty decent, I think. You know, I would like to make more money, honestly, but rates are in the trash right now, and it's going to be that way for a little bit. As owner-operators, right now, with the rates the way they are, and being leased onto a company, the main thing that you should focus on is just keeping your head above water, making sure that all your maintenance, all your bills are covered, and not worry about banking a lot of extra. Just worry about keeping your head above water. It's going to clear up. It's going to clear up, and we're going to see a market correction, which is possibly what we're in right now, which is called a market correction. And we're going to see that if the oil field will, if the oil field will bounce back. And that's probably one of the biggest contributing factors to the way things are right now. But if the oil field will bounce back, then we're going to be perfect. We're going to be just fine. And it's just a matter of holding on until that happens and making sure you keep your costs down. So anyway, that's the update. That's the news. And you're here out here with me on the road. This is my life out here. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. We update you with all of it, or I try to update you with all of it. And that's the way it is now. I'm going to try to do a couple more videos. I tend to do these things in flurries. I'll do 2 or 3 at a time, and then you may not hear from me for a month or so. I'm not going to stop doing videos. I've had a few people ask me. They've been sending me messages on Facebook, or they've commented on videos asking me if I'm done making videos, or if I'm not going to do anymore. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep on making videos, especially, with you guys out there that you're really wanting to see what's going on, you're interested in what's going on. I'm not going to leave y'all hanging, I do the videos for me as much as I do them for y'all. So, I'm not going to leave y'all hanging. I'm going to keep doing the videos. So, y'all hang in there. Thanks for watching. Share, like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And tell people that you think are interested in becoming truck drivers. Send them to my channel. Let them check it out. Friend me on Facebook. You can look me up on Facebook by my email address. That's the easiest way. And that is s.neill@yahoo.com. That's my ad on Facebook. s.neill@yahoo.com. I'm not a real original guy. I don't come up with all these odd stuff. So, like on Xbox, my player tag, gamer tag on Xbox is just Stephen Neill, all lowercase letters. Sorry. That's STEVENNEILL, Stephen Neill. It's pretty easy to locate me just about anywhere. Same thing on Google Plus. It's just Stephen Neill. That's where you find me at. So look me up. I'm not really on Google Plus all that much. I look at it. I don't do much on it. Everything I do is on Facebook, and I'm on Xbox when I'm at the house. So y'all, like I said, like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Much love goes out to y'all. Peace out.